First, as Dave was mentioning, we were seeing those pictures yesterday morning just as that spill began, and the difference is amazing. And while that is kind of unsettling, certainly, to see that amount of water come down, it is certainly time to be talking about the possibilities of downstream and who needs to be taking precautions. So here is the Feather River that comes down through Oroville. So we're really talking about the areas near Highway 70. So it would be all of this area between Highway 70 and Highway 99, including the town of Biggs, a relatively small town, but still you could be impacted by it as well. What we're looking at is a rise on the river of at least a few feet. Right now, the outflow, Dirk and I were just checking, the outflow out of Oroville is right around 100,000 CFS. Earlier in the day, it was around 60. So that is going to be seeing an increase here on the river. However, you got to keep in mind that 100 is still a manageable amount of water coming out. The channel capacity here is 210. Now, I know we can all get bogged down with CFS and what that means in terms of gallons or how much water, but just think about the raw number itself. If right now we're talking about 100 and the river itself can handle 210, you get the idea that 100 is still a manageable amount of water that can come down here, but we are going to see a rise. The fear is that if there is a failure of the emergency spillway, as we've been talking about and as DWR is fearing, then instead of 100, that number would go up sharply, and then that would be the fear. So that's why the evacuation orders have been issued. Again, 100,000 CFS is a very manageable amount, but if suddenly that spikes over 160, you're talking about a rapid rise on the river. And not only could that reach channel capacity, but even if it doesn't quite meet channel capacity, we could also see pressure put on the levees that we have not seen in years. Along the Feather River in 1997, when they had to release a lot of water in that flood event, we did see a flow come out of there of 160. And again, just keep in mind, channel capacity 210, they put out 160, a manageable amount. But even at that time in 97, the town of Oroville was evacuated just on a precaution because of the fear of a levee failure. And I think that may be part of the issue here as well, that a higher flow could put pressure on those levees all along the Feather River and all the way down toward the Gridley area. Now, I know a lot of you in the Sacramento area may also be concerned about this amount, but keep in mind that even if there is a much larger amount than 100,000 CFS coming down here, that before that would get to Sacramento, a lot of that would be diverted into the bypass at the Fremont Weir, which is above Sacramento, and then of course through the Sacramento Weir as well. So that's a bridge that we'll get to when something else happens. But for those of you in the area around Sacramento, West Sacramento, I wouldn't be too concerned about this at this point. We'll see what happens. So again, right now there's 100,000 coming down here, and that's a manageable amount. However, if there is a failure of that dam, then we will see that number spike, and I think that's the fear. So for those of you that live between Highway 70 and Highway 99, those are the folks that do need to be taking precautions or perhaps evacuating at this time. So I think that gives you maybe a better idea of what's going on here, but we do have to watch this very closely as we go through the rest of this evening. This is a very dangerous and a very dire situation. Back to you.